What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing another video. Today I'm bringing a video on Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger, and unfortunately I haven't been able to make this video all week, but because I haven't had a computer that's been working for me all week. But now I do. Now it's working, so that is awesome. So I thought I would do a video on recent information regarding Uchuu Sentai Kyuranger. I'm just gonna say Kyuranger, obviously. Coming up this weekend to be exact. I'm doing this practically like a day or two away. So I thought I would, give some information that was revealed this week that a lot of people were very hyped over, including myself. That is information regarding the 10th and the 11th members of the team. You think to yourself, 10th and 11th? We don't even know 9. Well, for those of you that don't know, and a lot of you might already know, but I still wanted to make people aware, 10 and 11 were announced. Those include Purple and Sky Blue. Purple is Rio Commander. Rio Commander is the leader and mentor for the season. He basically is your Doggy Kruger kind of character in a way, because he's a ranger as well as a mentor for the team, but different story, different setup, different everything pretty much. And he has the appearance of basically a dragon. And that makes more sense now. At first it wasn't very clear as to what Rio Commander was supposed to actually be, but now with finding out what his Zord is, it all makes sense. Because he is supposed to be a dragon. And the reason why I say this is because his Zord is a dragon, his weapon is a dragon staff that also has a gun mode, which is cool. And it even has like a gun head. It's like kind of gold and shiny. It's nice. It looks cool. And he's got like a special buckle that can allow for transformation, all this other stuff. It's gonna be cool. But yeah, he's gonna have the Dragon Zord for the season, so that's awesome. And yeah, it's actually gonna be like an orange. Actually, not gold. What am I saying? Gold, like an orange and purple, obviously. Orange is the head, purple is the body. It's cool. As far as things go, otherwise, we're talking about Sky Blue. Well, so Sky Blue is actually going to be a character that is going to be based around bears, twin bears to be exact. And one of them is big, one of them is small. They're actually based off the constellation. They're actually based off of the two constellations of Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. Minor as in small, Major as in big. Ursa means bear, technically. So what that means is big and small. So what they're doing is they're going to have a kid who will be the Sky Blue Ranger. Yes, a kid. And he will go from being a little kid to getting big. Similar to how Justin did it from Turbo Ranger in America. And you think to yourself, is that what they're basing it off of? No. Technically, no. The reason why I say this is because although American fans will look at this and say, oh, they're doing another Justin. Yes, it's like Justin, but it's not Justin. You see, Justin was done specifically for the reasons that they wanted to appeal to kids in a way where they could say, they can relate to this character and say, oh, I'm a little kid, maybe I could be a ranger at some point. And it was that kind of idea. In this case, that isn't what they're referring to, also because that was America. Japan never did that. Turbo Ranger in Japan was a full-grown adult in Japan, and that season was Car Ranger. Full-grown adult. What this is more so based off of is what Japan did for a different season, which is for Die Ranger, which is the season that came after Jew Ranger, which is the season that was based off of Mighty Morphin. Their outfits and everything. The season that the White Ranger outfit came from is what I'm referring to with Die Ranger. In Japan, the White Ranger actually was a kid, and he actually managed to grow in a similar way to how Justin worked. That is what they're really basing it off of, Kyuranger. And Kyuranger, yeah, was the kid equivalent to Justin in Japan, and he came before Justin. So that's kind of important to also keep in mind. So that is interesting to note. So that means he is going to get big like him. The other thing that's worth noting is that in the kid form, the smaller form, he actually has a scarf in the design, which is pretty interesting and really isn't done ever. I think the only time that I can really think of it is maybe like Jacka, I think that happened, or maybe some other early season. That, or you can also include Akiba Ranger, which I believe had scarves as well, but that was unofficial, obviously. Get my point though. Anyway, those three will combine into Ryu Teo, and then they will combine with Kurano to make Ryu Te Kurano, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, it will be based, and Kuro and Ryoteo will be using the base form of Kurano. So that means that they're not going to be using any of the weird combinations. It's going to be based off of the initial 5, black, red, yellow, black, red, yellow, green, and is it orange? And blue. Why am I forgetting blue? Yeah. So it should be pretty cool. They also showed off that they are going to be doing special modes for red. They're going to be based off of the sun and the moon. And he'll have a special Kyoto mode that will allow him to change forms from a sun-looking helmet, where it will have like the jutted out spikes of the sun, to a moon-shaped one, which will be interesting as well. He will also have a Pegasus mode, which will be interesting, and I'm hopefully there'll be other forms for members that aren't just red, even though a lot of times it is that case. This, I feel like, is a season they're going to do something similar to what Samurai and Super Samurai did in America, which is Shinkenger in Japan, where they had the whole entire super modes for each of them, with like the robes, having a very simple thing that will happen across the board. I'm sure that will happen in America if they do this, but in Japan, I feel like they're going to do something like that, just because they're not like too drastically different in most cases, although obviously Rio Commander can be an exception, but in most cases they have very, very similar designs. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of jacket or powered up mode, because they have to do something simple, because they have a lot of members on the team. There's no other way to do any powered up mode unless they do it just for red, which they could do. It's just I'm hoping, especially since they're doing multiple modes for red early on, that maybe they'll do something for the others if they're doing red super early, like it sounds like they're doing. They're also going to be releasing a lot of Kyotsuma sets. They're going to be individual sets for all sorts of situations. They are going to just be packaged as Kyotsuma. They're not going to be packaged with other Zords or any other materials. It's just going to be that. So keep that in mind. A lot of the merchandise is all starting to show up in stores in Japan, and a lot of it is going to be coming to America very, very soon in the next couple weeks or so. But I know that Japan has already started getting merchandise. There's already been some early reviews that have gone up about Kurano and the Saiza Blaster. I also am getting Kurano and the Saiza Blaster, and there's some other stuff that's coming as well fairly soon, such as the main weapons and all that other stuff. I haven't watched the reviews of Kurano and all that other stuff yet, but I'm sure I'll be watching in the next day or so just to see how these things work. Because I always typically get the main mech and weapon and morphing device just to see how it is, and then if I really like it and I really am liking the show, then I buy additional stuff. So we'll see what happens. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions are in the comments below. Are you looking forward to this show? Are you planning on actually watching this, or are you planning on waiting until America hopefully gets it? Do you think America is going to get this season? Leave your comments below. I would love to know what your opinions are And I'll see you guys next time. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye, guys.